we would have sun for the final round of the Drift Masters European Championship. It is now round 6 and we're here at Mondello Park in Ireland to decide who is going to take home the title this weekend. Our top 3 contenders, James Dean, Dwayne McKeever and Jack Shanahan, are going to be fighting it out this weekend on the track. A new track layout has levelled the playing field as no one has actually driven this layout before. It's our first practice now, so the guys are going to be going out to see the challenge that is laying ahead. Yesterday was the first time our drivers had seen this new layout here at Mondello Park. It's safe to say a few of them found it a bit tricky. Now, 2 of our championship contenders from Drift Masters are actually competing in the Drift Games Extreme Final here on the Saturday. So it's a very busy weekend for them. Tricky for some of the drivers because there's a surface change right in the middle. It goes from concrete to asphalt. So this is the practice run for these guys. They've only got a couple chances left before they're going into the show tomorrow. And yeah, as you can see just there, they're finding it a bit tricky, but they're going to have to get their line dialed. And also we have some weather looming. It's gone from bright sunshine to, yeah, kind of an apocalyptic looking storm, which we can see from the weather monitors that it's coming in quite quickly. So I'm hoping that it stays dry for them because it's going to make this track, which is already tricky and fast, even more difficult. The rain that we so desperately wanted to not appear is just starting to fall. Ah man, it was going so dark and everyone was just looking up like, is it going to? Or yeah, and it's just starting. Hopefully it can just get rid of it all and then we can crack on with the practice and it's going to clear up for tomorrow. Fingers crossed. So I've managed to grab Jack Shanahan and he is one of our championship contenders this weekend. So I just wanted to have a quick catch up with you really and see how you're feeling. Well, this weekend you've got 2 events. You've got Drift Games Extreme, which is your Irish National
kind of thing, like, yeah.
And then you've got Drift Masters European tomorrow. 2 championships. Where are you in the first in the Drift Games?
20 points ahead.
20 points ahead in first.
Place,
and you're in 3rd in Drift Masters, so it's like...
So it's a lot on the line.
There's a lot on the line.
I can lose the 2 of them a lot faster than I can win both of them. Yeah. Definitely. So I still have to get like really far in the Drift Games to actually win it. Yeah. And then the Drift Masters, I need to kind of make sure that James and Dwayne don't come here tomorrow. Yeah,
I was going to say, I was like, you're going to just be like, oh guys, you stay at home today. Yeah. That's all fine.
They might do though. You know?
But the thing is, I know you would much rather fight than forfeit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I've knocked myself out of competition a lot of times this year, like by pushing too hard, so I definitely like a challenge. So.
Oh, of course. And you know, from last year, I know that it wasn't your best year last year. To come back fighting it's been, this year.
Like with the new car and everything, like with any kind of result I get from today and tomorrow is amazing. Like I don't really care what happens, but it is what it is. So we just have to rock and roll and see what we can do, you know.
I'm just having a quick look for Dwayne McKeever because he's another one of the guys who's in 2nd position at Drift Masters right now. You're 2nd in the championship. There's 25 points between you and James?
Yeah, still all to play for the minute. He has got that lead over me at the minute, but still very close. Like anything can happen. We were counting up like what can still happen and what if I qualify here and he qualifies there, like what can happen. Yeah. But still all to play for. Like I'm not giving up at this stage.
That's your car.
Yeah.
So you gave your car that you're about to go out and do Drift Masters in tomorrow to Alan Hines.
So basically Alan went out I think in practice this morning and I think he had a mechanical failure and it ended up in the wall. So like years ago I used to win championships with borrowed cars, so I couldn't let him see him go out of the championship that way. So I tried my best to find him and as a car that wasn't really needed. Maybe somebody there would have given a land of it, but there wasn't really, nobody was really up for the job. So because I was, look, I'm not allowed to go out this road, I'll give my car because look, it took all year me, so like if it take me, I should be able to take him for 1 round.
I love that. Do you know what, Dwayne? You're a true gentleman of the sport. It's great to see. Well, I'm going to be coming round and definitely bothering you again tomorrow with a microphone, so we'll catch up then.
See you later.
Take care, love.
Bye.
So it started raining again. I'm just looking for James Dean, but I think he's in his car sheltering from the weather. So we'll jump in and see how he's feeling. Now, I hate asking this question because I know that you know it's a big day tomorrow. It's like...
Maybe.
Yeah. It's the Drift Masters. It's the final round. You're in first position right now. DMEC is very close behind you. How are you feeling? What's going through your mind at the minute?
Yeah, so obviously it's the last round of the championship. It's been an up and down year for us, with obviously building this new car, and it's been a challenge, but over the last couple of rounds it's been picking up. The last event we managed to get our first win in this car, so that gave us a lot of confidence back, but you know, it still needs work. It's still not perfect, but yeah, to be sitting in first place considering is absolutely amazing. I think it's been a challenging year for a lot of drivers, you know, highs and lows I think for all of us, but we're leading it going into the last round and it feels great. Obviously back in my home country, Ireland, and first time driving this car back home, and I know there's a lot of local people excited to see it been driven here, so I just want to drive hard, hopefully put on a good show, and see where we go.
Today is game day here at Mondello. All the cars are lining up for their morning practice because overnight we've had some pretty awful weather and it has completely changed the track. It's almost like a driver's worst nightmare because it's been wet, it's now starting to dry up and it's starting to make the track patchy. So everyone's going out there to see how they fare up. It's becoming the tyre manufacturer's battle because some people have more grip than others and that is really starting to show. Now last night DMEC, he lent his car to Alan Hines, who was in Drift Games Extreme, and unfortunately he had a prop shaft failure during the last battle of the event. So they spent all night, there's been a man working on his car all night to get it ready for today's battle. And yeah, he is lining up now to go for his first practice. So we're going to be following him because obviously it's between him, James and Jack today. Jack went on to win the championship and all three of them are back here and now it's really going to go down this afternoon. So we're going to keep up with everything. So yeah, enjoy the action. Live with the qualifying action, and I'm just taking a quick walk down to the pits because I have heard that when they did their first practice run this morning, James Dean went out with Michael Reichardt, the German, and unfortunately he made some contact with him as he went into outer zone 1. So at the moment they're trying to fix the E92, but they have the S14 on standby, but taking that out for its first practice run is starting to misfire. So there's a lot of busy energy going on in that garage right now to get both cars, in theory, qualifying ready. James, I know you don't have much time, but can you just tell us really quickly what's happening?
Yeah, so my second last run of practice, I was driving a BMW, which we've been using all weekend, and I was entering the first corner. Michael Reichardt hit us in the first corner, came in a bit too fast, and it broke my half shaft, broke a toe arm, bent a couple of bolts, so you know, we knew it was going to take quite a while to fix it, and in the meantime I said, okay, in case they can't fix this, let's just try to use the S14 for a practice run in case we need to use it. And there's some misfire with this car, so now I think I'm going to use this, but we're trying to have them both prepared.
Well, there you have it. It's almost on an egg timer now because he needs to get those 2 qualifying runs in, otherwise what's going to happen with the championship is going to be given away.
Well, here is his nearest rival, the man currently leading the Formula Drift Championship, the current leader of the Drift Masters European Championship, and the man that everybody else wants to beat. He's back in the BMW. He had issues in practice with it, but he's back in with very little practice. It's James Dean into the first corner. A little bit tentative from James Dean, and he misses clipping his own 2. James Dean may be having issues here.
As James Dean once again stands on the accelerator, brings that car back around the circuit. Can this even be a score right now for James Dean? As you can see him left foot braking, that car looks wounded. He doesn't look himself. James Dean's on the ropes.
Well, I'm not sure if it is a 0 or not, but if it is, Ian, I think this would be the first 0 that James Dean has ever scored in qualifying.
Qualifying turned up some very unexpected results. So Jack Shanahan and James Dean went out for their first run and came back with zeros. That is an absolute nightmare for them because that meant that all the onus was on their second run to get them into the top 32 battle. They're just lining up for their top 32 now. Thankfully, the guys actually managed to get into the show, put in some very safe runs because they knew they had to do what is known as a banker. A banking run which is super safe, not too over the top, and managed to get them into the field. It's very tense here, I can feel it in my veins. Everyone is buzzing on the pit wall. This is one, guys, this is the last one of the season, and it's where potentially Dwayne could take his very, very first European Championship title. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Dwayne McKeever, if he wants to win this championship as a rookie in European competition, he's got to go through Erlinson here, and Erlinson cannot afford, if he took down McKeever, that would be a massive statement for the end of his season. Lot to play for here as they fire into that first car. Look at the lack of grip on both cars, and Erlinson's coming in very hot, makes contact, McKeever hits the wall.
Again, it's all going off in Dwayne McKeever's pit. He just had a little bit of a coming together with Erlinson, which has meant that there's a rear tie rod that's been bent. So they're having a little bit of a competition timeout. They've got to get the car fixed. Bearing in mind, this is the second time that this car has gone into surgery whilst it's going into competition. It's so tense down here, I can't even explain. Like, my heart is doing 10 to the dozen. It's ridiculous. What on earth is this event going to bring next?
Next on the line, this one is a big one. This one for the championship right now. It will be Dwayne McKeever to take on Jack Shanahan.
If you're an Irish Drift fan, this one's for the championship. McKeever gets eliminated or Shanahan gets eliminated. Their championship's over in the next 2 minutes. Here we go, McKeever and Shanahan as they come off the line. They've met each other so many times in the past, but this one might be for the biggest thing they've ever got for. And look at Shanahan onto McKeever's door, pushing McKeever to the wall, and they stay in it. This is incredible stuff for both of these drivers. As Shanahan now inches and millimeters away from McKeever as they come through that center section. How are they still keeping going? Shanahan through caution to the win. Now he goes right back up on McKeever, takes a bad line, really bad line into the roundabout, cuts the corner because McKeever's championship beyond the ropes. Could Shanahan eliminate McKeever here? But now McKeever starts to make a move, but Shanahan's right there again, and Shanahan all over Dwayne McKeever on the left foot brake. Shanahan pushing McKeever to the wall. What a battle in the rain here in Mondello. Incredible.
The drama continues. Got to our top 16 battle Kevin Quinn. Was very happy, had a great lead run and a great chase run. But while I was finishing my lead run, this noise came into the car. Insanely loud noise. I thought the exhaust was after coming off and hitting the ground, but it wasn't. And I went for my chase run, did my chase run. The noise got worse. Finished the run, and I put the car into neutral, rolled to a finish, and the noise was insanely loud. Like, we thought that it would be very obvious to find it and fix it, and we came back in. The guys checked as much as they can check, and we can't find the issue, so I have no idea. We got about 10 minutes maximum, so we're just checking what we can check with the time we have, and you know, even if we can't fix it, we have to try to go and run, because yeah, a lot on the line. But I'm feeling better and better every run, but hopefully the car stays with me. Fingers crossed.
Lee Scott, it's business time for the machine. Lee Scott with nothing to lose and a name to gain here in this one as they come off the line.
Yeah, here we go, Dave. They come through the gears. Two BMWs, two very similar power plants, but it just comes down to driver skill right now as James Dean fires in with an early initiation. Oh, and Dean's in the wall!
Dean is in the wall! James Dean goes into the wall and destroys his car.
Okay, do you want the good news first or the bad news? I'll start with the bad news. Unfortunately, James went out to do his run and hit a load of standing water, which then made the car aquaplane straight into the wall. Unfortunately, that's his event over for him. But the good news is that looking at the points, because Jack took Dwayne McKeever out, that now means that James is the 2019 DMEC champion. Not the way he would have wanted to win it. I know that for an absolute fact. They hate a forfeit and they love a fight. But yeah, what a way. This event just turns up something new every single time someone goes out on the track.
So straight line initiation, e-brake, middle of the track, inside clip on the first corner, transition in the same place as you always were, middle of the track. Same all the way around through the roundabout. As you're coming back, inside clip on 6 again, and then a transition back in the middle of the track to inside on the apex, all right?
Let's go for the wall, eh?
Let's go, boys! Yeah!
We've just heard from the main judge here that they're going to change the track a tiny bit because unfortunately as they're coming into outer zone 2 there is just an absolute river of water, which is unfortunately what caused James Dean to aquaplane straight into the wall. So now they're going for a mid-track transition, which is hopefully going to avoid that situation. The guys are going to have a little sighting lap now just so they can get their head around what they've got up against them. Whew, it's tense, but they're all taking it really well in their stride. There's good spirits out there. They just want to go and drive. Don't blame them.
What's going to happen?
He's going to have to.
Our track manager is shaking his head saying, why are they still going at it? We've told them, they gave them the option to stop this, but they wanted to keep going. And here we go. Lee Scott in the lead position. Hotunji in the chase position. Something's got to give. Something's got to give, Ian.
Well, I think nothing's going to give. I think Hotunji is going to come at this just as hard as he did with Kavir. And look at this as he's door on door, and he's not even going to give Scott the room to maneuver as he fires in early. Joe Hotunji initiates before Lee Scott and starts to push Lee Scott around the circuit.
Oh, contact!
Wow.
Contact! Did Hotunji send Scott round? That's the question. Oh, there was contact. Big contact there, Ian. Did Joe Hotunji push too much? Did Joe Hotunji push too much?
The way this event has all turned out is absolutely crazy. We have 2 German brothers fighting it out for 3rd and 4th, and we have 2 Irishmen fighting it out for 1st and 2nd. With all the craziness that's been going on, what with James going into the wall, Dwayne being taken out by Jack, all of the drama has prevailed for the fact that Lee Scott, who was the wild card that came from DGX yesterday, has now made his way all the way to the final. Lee Scott and Jack Shanahan are about to go out for their battle. So this is going to be an interesting one. Let's see who wins.
Lee Scott and Jack Shannon's car, a fist pump. They've been through it all. The Starline Marshal and the drivers emotionally involved now after the day they've had. One last run for the championship. And could Lee Scott do it? He's really good at the lead, but can he chase Shannon? Does he have the pace? Lee Scott cannot believe he's in this situation. He's got nothing to lose. Shannon could wipe it all here, take 2nd in the championship. Here we go. It's the last run of the championship, last run of the day, and Scott right in on Shannon. Look at Lee Scott.
Lee Scott not messing around. He knows he needs to stick it to Shanahan right now as they come firing down through the middle of the circuit. Scott, late transition as he uses the pace to stick it back up onto the door of Jack Shanahan. They come firing down, and Shanahan keeping his cool, but Lee Scott still on the back bumper as they come into the roundabout.
Lee Scott's right there. He's got to stay with him on the way out of the roundabout here. He's caught himself a little bit short here, Lee Scott. He's on the wrong part of the track, but avoids Shanahan there, stays in it. How does Lee Scott make that work? He's back on Shanahan's door. Lee Scott is on Shanahan's door, losing a little bit of ground here as they come around. It's so close. Scott loses a little bit of pace, but what about that? What a final. Taking 1st position on the podium is Jack
So Jack is back, I think. You know, your confidence is soaring. It's amazing to see this weekend. You know, you've got an Irish championship in your bag, and then you've got a win, your first win in DMEC.
And 2nd in the championship as well.
2nd in the championship as well. You're just collecting medals at this point.
Ridiculous. I'm absolutely thrilled. Like, my God, I was not expecting this when I came here to Mondello Thursday night. Like, you know, I honestly thought, like, today I had a 0 in my first qualifying run, and I was fully sure that that was my weekend. Like, you know, I didn't even think I was going to qualify in my 2nd run. You know, and I was like, it was the biggest I've ever done in my life, like, you know, just to get myself in, like, and I was so down. I was like, this is not going to work. I was like, what are you doing, man, you know? So thankfully it worked out a bit, you know. So
the emotion that comes with drifting.
Oh, it was insane, man. Like, all the family and the team, like, they're just super proud and happy, and the win is for them, like, you know, it wouldn't be possible without them. So it's unbelievable.
100%, Jack. Well, I think all we can do now is dry off, get ready for the next season.
You mean get ready for the party?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jack.
Cheers.
Well, not the way James would have wanted to end his season. However, even though the car looks a little bit worse for wear, he is taking home the glory as he is now the champion of 2019 for the Drift Masters European Championship. James, I know you, as I said before, never a forfeit, always a fight. But you've taken it home again.
Yeah, definitely not your usual competition, I think. this weekend everything was thrown at every driver, between the track being really challenging, then the weather conditions changing from wet and dry, and then we pretty much had a full-on storm in the top 8 battle, which really caught me out. That was us knocked out, but you know, these things happen. I think it could have happened, you know, in practice or some other time. We managed to take home the win of the championship, which is unbelievable considering that it wasn't the smoothest year. We've had a lot of ups and downs, but overall brilliant, you know, way to debut a new car, even though it looks like a very old car now. Yeah, challenging year, but looking forward to next year already. The championship has been incredible. It's great to see the driving level and the championship just jump up, and I can't wait to see what next year brings, but I know it's going to be exciting.
Well, James, I can tell you something. I feel like I've aged from the amount of adrenaline that I've experienced throughout the season. It has just been ups, downs, highs, lows, emotions. And you know what? I can't wait to do it all over again next year in 2020. Thanks to all you guys that have been watching along the road of this championship. It's been crazy. And I know next year, everyone is just going to be pushing harder, building bigger and better cars. It's only up from here. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again in 2020.